So we had a first last night.
Very first.
Yeah. I drove like.
All right, let's start this thing over.
So we had a first. They say there's a first time for everything.
We got our first.
We did. Our first, middle of the night. Well, it was middle of the night for us because we go to bed very early. It was probably normal. Normal people would have still been awake.
What is this doing?
At this time. Talking.
Oh.
My hands have to move when I talk. You know this. So anyway, sound asleep, and my phone rings, which I insist on leaving my phone on loud in case there's an emergency. And I hadn't even thought about how that's even more important now with the condo. Didn't cross my mind. Anyway, phone rings, wakes me up from a dead sleep. I'm like reaching over to the nightstand, looking. It's an unrecognized number. And why is it doing that?
Doing what?
The screen went blank.
Is it timed out? It's still recording. You see the little red light?
Oh.
Sorry. New camera. Who dis?
Technology hard. Anyway, it's an unrecognized number from Pennsylvania, and I was like, why are telemarketers calling me at 11:30 at night? Ignore. Hung up on them. Rolled back over to go back to sleep. And after a few minutes, I was like, we own a condo. There are renters in it. Something could be wrong. Oh my goodness. So I frantically rolled back over, looked at my phone. Sure enough, I had a text message an hour before. You know, at 10:30 at night. Normal people are awake at that time. Not us.
It's because we wake up so early that we go to bed a little early.
Right. Anyway, I had gotten a text at 10:30 that I did not hear, saying that there was water leaking out of the bathtub
Faucet. Yeah, let's clarify. The tub was not leaking.
Yeah, no, it was just running into the bathtub and it wouldn't turn off, and they were concerned about wasting a lot of water.
Which is excellent. Thank you very much.
So appreciative. So I immediately called them back. They were wonderful. Ryan, I woke up Ryan because he was asleep through all of this, and talked them through. He talked them through how to go down and shut the water off at the main down at the ground level, and they were gracious enough to do that for us.
Which was amazing because they went down and did it, and then if they needed water, they went down, turned it back on. Thank you, Desiree family. That was amazing of you. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, it was great. So we were all able to go back to sleep because we knew that the water was shut off and no damage could be done and everything was fine, and they were wonderful. And so Ryan was able to go fix it the next morning. So that was our first late night issue, and luckily we were fortunate enough to have guests staying who were quick on their toes and were willing to fix the issue until we could get there.
And didn't just let it drip, because we do pay our own water bill out there. It's not a complex water, so
Let me tell
they didn't just, you know, let it drip and say, oh, heck with it, it's not ours. So that was just, I can't tell you how much we appreciate that. That was so amazing.
Absolutely. And they felt bad for calling me at 11:30 at night. I was like, no, I am so grateful that you did. So grateful. Because let me tell you what, getting water, I didn't know this. We learned a lot of things buying a condo on an island. Everything is more expensive on the island. And when they say that, they literally mean everything.
Literally?
Right down, literally, right down to every drop of water. The minimum bill is insane on the island.
It's very close to $100 a month, just minimum bill. Think about that. $100 a month before you use any water, just because you live out there.
Yeah, it's crazy. So we appreciate it so much. Thank goodness it was, you know, not a catastrophe, but it did get me thinking. I need to make sure I'm like listening for my phone to ring in the middle of the night, because I'm not used to that. Normally if it rings that late, it's, you know, a telemarketer or something. And also we need to get like an on-call handyman. So if it is an emergency that a guest can't just shut off the water, if it's something else and we can't get down there, we have somebody to call. So important lessons were learned from this.
Yep.
But no catastrophe.
So here's how we fixed it. All right, we got it apart. Everything looks okay. I don't see anything major, and you can tell I just replaced these as we were remodeling the whole condo. So these are brand new. It's very odd that it would just start leaking. And it was cold water, so it was definitely out of there. That's just dripping now because I opened up this valve to come from the shower. That black gasket at the end had some wear spots in it where it went against the valve on the inside. I don't think you're gonna be able to see that, but anyway, there's a valve on the inside that it goes to. I don't know why it just burped at me, but still coming from the shower, I guess. Anyway, I turned that rubber gasket over to put the wear side on the inside. We'll see if that helps. And that's not a final solution, but that'll at least get it through these guests and until I can get one of these and come back. Let's try it. So it's okay to laugh at yourself. It's even important at times. Check out what I did. So it's cold water, it's leaking out. I was messing with the hot water valve. Now I've got to redo the cold water valve. All right, we'll pull that valve out, flip the washer over, did the same thing, see how it works. Water is on, no leaks. It's not always that simple, but I love it when it is. We'll have to get some other rubber gaskets and fix it permanently, but I wanted to make sure it didn't leak for these guests. Just in case anybody has a water issue, I did want to let you know where the valve is so you can shut it off. So right adjacent from the entrance, walking out to the pond. You walk out here, to the left you'll see a 12 on the concrete. That green valve right there, when I first got here it was covered up with mulch, but it is just on the other side of the water meter. If it's covered up with mulch, you may have to uncover it. I never get tired of that view. Being right here on the third story, you get a little better breeze, a little better view, and a little less traffic noise. Of course, doesn't really count when they're mowing the grass, but you gotta keep it looking nice.